Have you ever spent 30 years building something for the people you love, only to be told you don't belong there? I did. My name is Henry, and I'm 55 years old. The house you're about to hear about wasn't just a house. It was my life's biggest dream. I worked for decades to afford it. A beautiful luxury home where I imagined my family laughing, celebrating holidays, and building memories together. But on the day, I invited everyone for the housewarming party. My own daughter-in-law looked me in the eyes and told me to leave. In front of all the guests. The worst part. My son stood there and said nothing. That moment broke something inside me. But what happened 5 minutes later shocked everyone in that room. Because there was one truth about that house. A truth no one knew yet. And when I finally revealed it, the entire party went silent, including my son. And by the end of that night, someone else would be walking out of that house, not me. Welcome to my YouTube channel Moral Ecos, where silence speaks. I bought a luxury home, but my son's wife kicked me out on housewarming day, but A life story narrated by Henry, 55 years old. My name is Henry. My name is Henry, and I am 55 years old. Most people see a man my age and assume his best days are behind him. But the truth is, my story is built from 30 years of sweat, sacrifice, and silent battles no one ever saw. I wasn't born rich. I didn't inherit money. Everything I had, I built with my own hands. Literally. I worked in construction for most of my life. While other people spent weekends resting, I spent mine lifting bricks, pouring cement, and building homes for strangers. Beautiful homes. Luxury homes. Homes with large gardens and shining windows. And every time I finished one, I would stand outside for a moment and think, maybe one day, I'll build something like this for my own family. The loss that changed everything. 8 years ago, my wife passed away. Her name was Clara. She was the kind of woman who could turn an empty room into a home just by walking into it. When she died, the house felt different. The kitchen became quiet. The living room felt colder. Even the walls seemed heavier. For months, I would wake up expecting to hear her voice calling my name. But the silence always answered first. The only reason I kept going was my son, Daniel. He was 24 back then. Young, ambitious, still trying to figure out life. After Clara died, I promised myself something. Daniel will never feel like he lost both parents. So I worked harder than ever. Longer hours. More projects. More sacrifices. Not for me. For him. My son's new life. Daniel eventually married a woman named Melissa. At first she seemed kind. Polite. Always smiling. But there was something about the way she looked at me sometimes. Not hate. Not anger. Just quiet judgment. Like she was silently asking herself, why is this old man still around? I ignored it. Because family requires patience. And patience requires love. The dream I finally achieved. 2 years ago, something unexpected happened. My construction business started growing. Really growing. New clients. Large projects. Money that I had never seen before in my life. For the first time in 30 years. I wasn't struggling anymore. And the first thing I did with that money wasn't buying a car. Or traveling. Or enjoying luxury. Instead, I bought land near a peaceful lake outside the city. Then I did what I had dreamed about for decades. I built a house. Not just any house. A luxury home. Large windows overlooking the lake. 4 spacious bedrooms. A beautiful open kitchen. A wooden deck where families could sit together on summer evenings. I personally checked every detail, every tile, every door, every light, because in my mind, I wasn't building a house. I was building a future. For Daniel, for Melissa, for the grandchildren I hope to meet someday. The surprise. When the house was finished, I invited Daniel to see it. We stood together in the empty living room. Sunlight poured through the windows. Daniel looked around in amazement. "Dad, this place is incredible." I smiled and placed the keys in his hand. "It's for you." His eyes widened. "What do you mean?" "This house is for the family." For a moment, he didn't speak. Then he hugged me. And that moment meant everything to me. Housewarming day. The housewarming party was held a week later. Guests filled the house. Music played softly. People admired the interior design. Beautiful place. Such a stunning home. "Daniel, you're lucky." Every compliment made me smile. Because deep inside, I knew something they didn't. This house existed because a father loved his son. But while everyone else looked happy, Melissa didn't. She walked through the house like someone inspecting a hotel room, judging every corner, watching every guest, and occasionally looking at me. The confrontation. Halfway through the party, she approached me. "Henry, can we talk for a moment?" Her voice sounded polite, but her eyes were cold. We stepped into the hallway. She crossed her arms. "You shouldn't be standing in the center greeting everyone." I frowned. "Why not?" She looked at my clothes. My simple jacket. My work shoes. "You look like you just came from a construction site." "Well, I did." She sighed in frustration. "My friends are here. My colleagues are here. Important people." Then she said the sentence that shattered everything. "You're embarrassing us." I stared at her. "You should leave before people start asking questions." The moment of truth. I looked toward the living room. Daniel was there, laughing with his friends. But when his eyes met mine, he quickly looked away. That moment hurt more than Melissa's words. Because silence is sometimes worse than cruelty. I nodded slowly. "All right." Melissa relaxed. "Thank you for understanding." But before leaving, I walked into the living room. I tapped my glass gently. Everyone turned toward me. The speech that changed everything. "Good evening, everyone," I said calmly. "My name is Henry, and I am 55 years old." People smiled politely. "I just wanted to thank you all for coming to celebrate this beautiful house today." Then I paused. "There's just one thing you should know." I turned toward Melissa. "This house doesn't belong to Daniel and Melissa." The room froze. Gasps echoed around the room. "It belongs to me." Melissa's face turned white. Daniel looked shocked. "I built this home because I believed family meant love and respect." Then I gently placed the house keys on the kitchen counter. But today I learned something. The final lesson. Luxury means nothing without respect. Silence filled the room. I hope someday my son understands that. Then I walked toward the door. No shouting. No anger. Just dignity. And as I stepped outside, for the first time in years, I realized something powerful. Sometimes walking away from what you built is the only way to keep your self-respect. Moral of the story. Love without respect becomes sacrifice. And sacrifice without appreciation becomes pain. True family doesn't measure your worth by your clothes, your age, or your status. They measure it by your heart. And sometimes the greatest strength a person can show is not fighting to stay, but having the courage to walk away. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because every story here leaves behind a lesson.